Are looking live from the top of the U.S. Capitol Rotunda, where thousands of people are paying their tribute to former President George H.W. Bush. His body lying in state there as people hope for a chance to say goodbye to the man who they say represented a kinder, gentler era of American politics. Everybody from politicians, dignitaries, everyday Americans paying their respects to former President George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, many are offering a final salute to his long life of service. Fox 5 anchor Russ Spencer joins us now from the live desk with more. Russ?
Well, Sine and Tom, it is a telling tribute to the 41st president, the number of people who are paying their last respects. And it's not just the political elite. Thousands of citizens have waited in line for hours to pass by President Bush's coffin and reflect on his life. One by one, a stream of mourners filed into the Capitol Rotunda, paying their respects to former President George H.W. Bush. Among them, General Colin Powell, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs during Operation Desert Storm, and former Republican presidential nominee Bob Dole. It was a touching moment when an aide helped Senator Dole up from his wheelchair so he could stand and offer a final salute to President Bush. The 41st president's flag-draped casket, guarded by members of the U.S. military, will lie in state until tomorrow morning. Paul Smith traveled across the country to offer his condolences.
He's the kind of leader that I think we need these days. He took everything in stride. He didn't try to grandstand and take what he thought was important for himself. He let others take the credit. President
Trump and the First Lady stopped by late Monday to pay their tributes. Mr. Trump tweeted this morning that he would meet with the, quote, wonderful Bush family at Blair House across from the White House where they're staying. The president's son, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, spoke today about his father's legacy.
I'd say two things really gave him purpose. One was giving back to others. Family mattered. This is a time to celebrate George H.W. Bush, not to grieve his loss, and that's what we're doing as a family right now.
There have been many solemn tributes to President Bush, and none more touching than this one, the late president's service dog, Sully, at the state capitol bidding a final farewell. Sully was matched to President Bush earlier this year after the death of his wife Barbara. America's vet dogs who trained Sully said that the dog will now join the Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, where he will continue to serve veterans. The federal government will be closed tomorrow as President Trump has declared a national day of mourning for President Bush. That means all federal offices will be closed and mail will not be delivered. Sine?
All right, Russ, thank you for that report. President Bush's body will lie in state at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda until tomorrow morning. Then his casket will be transported to the National Cathedral for a state funeral. His body will then return to Houston's St. Martin's Episcopal Church tomorrow evening. There'll be a private funeral service on Thursday. President Bush will be buried next to his wife and daughter at the George H.W. Presidential Library and Museum in College Station, Texas.
And we will bring you President Bush's state funeral live here tomorrow morning, right here on Fox 5. Our coverage will begin at 11 a.m.